Welcome back to the second half. The two of you are headed down the street. It might be midnight on New Year's Eve, but it is still 24/7 here on Santiana Station. You pass by stores offering holo comics, including one that has a man standing in an all-green jumpsuit with a green cloak, like pointing towards the sky, and it says, "Green Cosmo!" The bottom right-hand corner reads, "What will he do next?" with a big purple question mark. You can also see one that's just like The Secretive Life of Ro. Across the street from it, there's someone selling the intellectual property rights to various musics, millions and millions of tracks produced locally. The hottest, most fire mixtapes right now are all a Sleemow, industrial metal, the sounds of the docking bay, mixed with rap and opera. What are the two of you looking to get up to here on Santiana Station? As you already know, it's the major space station for the arrival point in Midapile. But also, it's a little loose here. It's a major criminal organization on it. If you're looking to get up to some trouble or find something that's maybe a little contraband, you can get it here.
I think Minerva is keeping an eye out for cultural type things, literature and music, and is sort of using Van-Vee as a safety escort.
I like how I'm just trying to picture us walking around just after midnight to find like culture exposure that's like not off the charts.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like, at least for this time of day, for the for the New Year's and everything going on, it's probably trying to go in and out of different clubs.
I feel like you find your way to a vinyl shop if you're interested in something like that.
There you go.
Okay, yeah.
It's run by an elderly woman. She's a little squat and waddles around, but she gestures for the two of you to come in despite the fact it's after midnight on New Year's. All of them are stored in like airtight, vacuum sealed cases that you like rip open, pull it out, and then put onto several like testing record stations. All of which there's like no price tags available here. It seems like it's kind of negotiable. And the woman's just like, "So you've come for the classics, huh?"
Yeah. I want to hear something I haven't heard before.
Well,
in addition to that request right there, I think, we're spaces. We're in our ships an awful lot. Anything you think that might be pleasant to listen to help pass the time, I think that would go a long ways. It's kind of like what they used to say in driving music. We just need spacing music.
while you're talking, she's already nodded her head and moved away. She goes into the back of the shop and comes out with a record she's holding somewhat reverently and says, "Well, I assure you, honey, you ain't never heard anything like this. This is from Terra, the old Earth." She rips it open and puts it down and says, "And you could say it's one of the first pieces of spacing music. This here is Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. It's about a man slowly losing himself to rage in the middle of the night as he contemplates the nature of the moon and his own dark thoughts. But it has a fairy-like whimsical nature." And
I'll take a listen.
yeah, she puts it on. It's almost exactly 15 minutes long, but it is hauntingly classical. Definitely not like any of this new, Sleemow stuff. Kids in their Sleemow.
I must say, ma'am, and what is your name again? I apologize.
Judy.
Judy. You have piqued my interest with this here. What did you say his name?
Beethoven, yeah.
Beethoven this is some remarkable stuff.
Yeah.
How much would you be willing to part for something like this?
Well, I'd say, do you have your own vinyl record player?
Oh, you looking to bundle something together for me if I don't?
Of course, of course. Are you looking for this classic needle setup or maybe something more modern with the turntable?
We haven't talked about it, so I doubt it, but do we have anything like on our ship that would allow it to play through all the speakers, or even anything that can play vinyl? Probably not, right?
I mean, there's an intercom, a digital database would probably be able to be played through it, but
you
not a
probably
vinyl
would
player.
some way to hook it up.
Yeah, there's definitely a way for you to like take this vinyl player and plug it into the ship's systems to you know. When you start indicating that, she shows you an interface plug that's going to require you to get a more modern non-needle system. And she says, well, if you're looking to get this record, the system and the interface plug, I can throw it all together for 800 credits, which is a absurdly high price.
800 credits, see, that lets me play it on the ship, but also I'd be able to play it in my room too.
Yeah.
Gosh, that is just outside my price range. You think you can do a little better than that? I was thinking maybe 500.
500 credits. Now, we're selling cultural artifacts here, and I got young ones to feed. But I'm feeling generous. It's a holiday. Make a talk roll with charisma. And remember, you're a diplomat, so you get to re-roll ones just in case you Cosmo this. You rolled no
7.
ones. You got a 7. So you just barely crossed the minimum line.
Bam.
All right. I'll tell you what. I think I can come down to 600.
600. Well, I'm sorry. I think I may have gotten ahead of myself. I still want this 600, but my friend here may still want something. We have completely neglected their interest in this discussion. Minerva, did you want any of this Sleemow?
Oh, we don't have Sleemow vinyls in here. I'm afraid you'll have to go to another shop if you're looking for something a little more modern. I only get the greatest of the classics.
I feel like my price just went up.
Oh, for this, I think this would be nice.
Well, then, all right. Let's do it. What did you say? 600 it is.
600. Done deal. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. She shakes her hand, and as she does, a capybara comes out of the back, Cappy-Max, and gets under her arm, under her shoulder, and she rubs the back of its gigantic capybara head.
Well, now hold on. You've got a Lewis too. That is just something else.
I'm sorry. This is a capybara Maximus.
I apologize.
Its name's not Lewis.
Our captain also has one. His name is Lewis.
Oh, well, her name is Siobhan.
Uh-huh.
Would it be okay if
they look nothing alike?
Would it be okay if I said hello to Siobhan?
Oh, of course. Siobhan looks up at you with eyes that look old and wise, almost human. They look up at you. They
the
sniff
wisest
at you.
capybara.
It lowers its head.
I'll give a little bit of capybara love as I've seen the captain do to his own.
I want to know if he's one of those people that does Quentin kiss and lick the face of his capybara, some people with their dogs.
Oh, he buries his face for sure. I don't think he's licking.
Okay,
that seems a little too much.
You huff your capybara.
Yeah, definitely.
Is Minerva
he gets in there.
huffing Siobhan?
Minerva only has one role model to base this off of. So
I think if you go to Huff, Van-Vee,
just a really mechanical lean in and a swish, swish, swish back and forth in the fur.
Like a vacuum turns on and you start blowing air.
Judy looks at you, Van-Vee, confused as to what exactly is going on here, but she lets it happen. You just paid 600 credits, so.
You have to understand, our captain, he's very affectionate with his Lewis.
with his Lewis. I thank you very. I thank you very much for your time, and I wish you and your capybara the best.
All right then. Y'all have a good
you,
New
you should
Year.
probably turn in. There's been some chaos out there on the streets. I'd hate to see a shop like this run into any trouble at this hour on this day.
Oh, I pay my dues. I'm sure we'll be fine.
Well, all right then. You have a good evening.
Okay. Quentin, when you make your way back, there's a guard posted outside who hands you a report, which includes waiving your docking fees for the next 24 hours, as long as you stay here, as a apology for your system being broken. It indicates that a line shunt was used to break into your docking bay. After you had registered for a flight plan, but before you had landed, someone snuck their way in here to wait for you.
Okay. Any other details?
I mean, you
like broken door or like hacked a door code.
You lasered that guy. There's not really a lot of physical evidence left.
No big deal. Yeah, so like probably about 5 minutes before Van-Vee makes his purchase, Quentin has transferred enough money for Van-Vee to make that purchase into his account.
That's true. I would have been 100 short if you didn't do that.
So yeah, that's going into the ship, doing some paperwork as he gets in there. Louis comes trotting over, I'm sure. And Quentin's gonna rub and love up on him and do the like basic care sort of things, right? Because they're very social animals, right? They need that part of it. And
the whole time, no matter what you're doing, he balances an orange on his head. It's magical.
Yeah, I think that's definitely he's good for like holding tools, right? Or cups or books or anything that you need at hand. Very stable platform.
You're using him as a level?
No, it's like more like a tray table.
Every contractor needs a Capumax.
Just right. Be careful. Don't accidentally experience true level.
Goodness.
Cool. And then essentially I'll do whatever paperwork we have to do to file to be here for a couple days, because it sounds like that's the goal. And whatever that winds up costing. So we get 1 free day of docking fees and then one extra day. And we'll probably start filling out the paperwork and replying to a couple of these jobs here that we got, taking the one that's going to take us over to 0501, our salvage job. And that's our long term. We're going to shoot for that. The short term, we're going to go and take this item of personal significance to its destination.
So you get 20,000 credits up front are sent to you to pay for transportation costs to 0501.
Okay.
You're accepting the job from Supreme Master Jace Bronwyn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Further job details are sent to you immediately upon acceptance, as they've been waiting in escrow for someone to accept it. The job asks for you to head to the moon of Midapile, which is Risti Sumalin, and to locate a unknown person who has a pre-tech beacon, and to acquire that from them by any means necessary. They also send the beacon's unique electromagnetic signature, which should be able to detect it within 100 meters. You're to acquire it and then bring it to his palace in 0504.
Okay. All right. Well, I will forward those details to those two. And what was the name of this person? Did we get a name of the
Supreme Master Jace Bronwyn?
Jace Bronwyn. And the pre-tech beacon is held by, did we get a name for that? Sorry.
No, it's an unknown person. They don't know who has it. They just know that it's there on Risty Sumalin.
Okay.
So it sounds like we're there's a possibility that we are acquiring it from an unwilling donor
It sure does.
and then taking it out of system.
Ian paid 20,000 to not think about those kind of things.
You learn things.
You've accepted the job, so it's way
Don't
too
forget
late
to
for
check
that.
who they are first.
We were a good party for half an episode.
Well, it doesn't mean we have to be,
We could ask nicely. That's true. And they could
Yeah.
give it to us.
or do a favor for a favor,
You do know someone who owes you a favor.
That's true.
If we're done with our musical adventures,
yeah.
I guess on the way back or on the way to wherever Van-Vee wants to go, I probably would have also stopped at a more modern place and picked up something modern. Probably picked up some Sleemow to experience new music as well.
Of course. Not just Sleemow. There's dozens of genres being invented every day. I mean, Thord is putting out huge amounts of music. Actually, transiting music drives off of Thord is a full-time, well-paying occupation.
we should have brought some with us.
You probably did.
But yeah, pick up something more modern as well.
Yeah.
And otherwise making small talk with Van-Vee about the music that Van-Vee likes to listen to while we go to wherever it is you would like to go next.
He'd probably want to stop at a couple smaller pubs, not like clubbing, but smaller pubs on the way back. Just get a couple drinks on the way back. Just like, hey, successful mission, got paid, got some good music, feeling good. Let's just check out some local bars. And really, while he is enjoying himself getting a couple of drinks, he's also just seeing if he hears any rumors of like anything about, hey, true tech or pre-tech at the pubs. Any random rumors. He's just trying to eavesdrop on while having a conversation.
Okay. First, what's your drink of choice?
Ooh. Well, as a purely beer player, he'd have some sort of hard liquor that I probably can't name. We'll just go with whiskey. It's easy.
All right.
And whatever it is that Van-Vee orders, MINERVA will order one and make motions like she's doing a slow sip of it, and then just sort of over
she's just
time,
putting her lips up so it doesn't actually go down in her
swashes back,
and then just like
drinking. Yes,
and after some fake drinking, we'll just sort of slide it over to Van-Vee and like order another one. So
nice.
Keep up the social contract and enjoy the time with Van-Vee.
Make a talk with dexterity check. To represent you stealthily trying to insert yourself in a convo. Oh my god.
Boo yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, damn.
All right, so that's an 11 talk. It's pretty much almost the best you could have possibly done, essentially.
We'll have your ship back in no time.
You listen into some conversations. You hear loose talk between two unsavory looking characters who seem, you know how to identify transitory freighter people because you are one. Some folks in that line of business care about what they look like, and some are okay with 5 days without shaving and gray sweatpants. And this is definitely that second category.
Nice.
They are hushedly discussing, and one of them is getting a little loud, and he goes, I'm telling you, they got a treasure map. It's at can fit 555 59. And the second guy goes, you mean Con 599, the black hole? He's like, yeah, it's at the space station there. Okay, all you got to do is get an invite from an organization of ill repute. You can get in there. 20,000 credits. It's an old chart, they say. It's a treasure map to some Terran ruins. I'm telling you, you and me and like 12 other guys put in for this. We take our ships down there. We just talk our way through. We can do this. He's like, my crew are not going to go for this, buddy. Okay, you enjoy chasing your rumors. You're going to get stabbed if you go there.
feel like Van-Vee can't help but like his back is to them and he's just smiling, logging it all. So what was the actual sector? Because the one I wrote down and doesn't exist in Cress Wayside.
599. It's 0404. It's where you found MINERVA ship.
Shit.
You've been there before. You know that there are 2 space stations there, and one of them's a refueling station, so it's probably not that one.
Excellent. Okay. Good news.
Yeah, I think back on the ship, Quentin's going to be wrapping up his paperwork, and he's also going to send out some emails, essentially, right? Like, and try to make some connections with local academics and folks who specifically have specializations in psionics and like history of, if possible.
Are you looking for people who are psionics or people who study psionics?
Study and specifically like the history of pre-screen.
Pre-scream. You're looking for something extremely specific. I see. Could I ask you to make a connect roll with your charisma?
Yes.
Nice. Well. A 9. Now note, the people that you find using this skill, you can use this skill to persuade them instead of talk if you want to.
Right.
If you're better at making connections. Yep. There are such people here in system. There are not that many. All of them work for the government at the Royal Library Emeritus. Mm-hmm. You have the like wing that they work at. That's like under secretary for pre-scream affairs and like alternative psionic development studies. It's like professors who work for government funded universities part-time there, and they bring their research students with them to work for them for free.
Awesome. Yeah, and these are like Quentin's people. So he's basically going to reach out. Go ahead.
So you can tell me the name if you're interested. You can tell me the name of a contact there if you want, or I can make one up for you when you arrive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like, I don't.
You get some power here if you want to like help invent who you connect with, because you rolled well enough.
Oh my. Well, I am not prepared to come up with a name, so I will leave that up to you.
When you arrive, you will find, a whole wing of people waiting for you in pre-scream and alternative psionic studies.
And where are they again?
They are on the planet Midipile in the Royal Library Emeritus.
I will make an appointment.
Is this station quantum ECM shielded?
No.
Okay. Then while I'm drinking with Van-Vee or drinking, I would like to use my split focus with the ship to send some messages from the ship to some of the shipyards inquiring about spike drive components.
You want to buy a spike drive?
I'm putting out feelers for. I'm basically dropping a message like I represent an interested buyer who's trying to repair a spike drive. They're looking for a couple components, including, and I'll list one of the ones that would be needed to repair the spike drive on my ship. And
that's a level 5 drive?
It is a level 5 drive.
Okay. So let me just look up what you're looking for. I'll need you to make a connect charisma roll.
I love that while we're at the bar, supposedly having a conversation, you're searching eBay and I'm listening to the people behind us while we're talking.
I mean,
it takes 2 humans to duplicate that.
I'm using split focus, so
I'm just being a normal dude.
Shouldn't have split that focus.
This is not something I'm good at. I'm probably going to need somebody's help.
You contact several shipyards. You basically get immediate messages back asking if you'd like to enter into a 3-year waiting list. All of them give you the same message that like they're so backed up, you're not going to be able to buy a on the market drive from them anytime soon, but they'd be willing to add you to the list if you'd like to register.
Okay, so no parts purchases. They're
you can't
they're responding
even
with drive
get
purchases.
someone on the you can't even get someone on the phone. You know what I mean? Like you're like, hey, I'm a random citizen. I'd like to talk to you about buying some things. And you get picked up by an automated calling system and you're like, oh, for operator, 000. And it's just like, would you like to enter into a queue? We'll get to your call in 3 years.
Boy. All right.
It's the worst when 0 doesn't do anything.
When we get back to the ship, I'll see if someone on the crew can get better luck with that.
I am trained in Connect, but neither one of us are listening to each other currently. So,
Oh no, I mean that's the beauty of split focus. I'm entirely engaged in our conversation.
yeah, but I am your average male humanoid. My split focus is only one focus.
I mean, it's not a deep conversation. You're just sort of, I guess, Minerva's just asking you questions about the music you listen to. So
I think just looking on the market, there are no Drive 5s available, and the last one sold for over 3 million.
is there any local office or representative for Finana?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. I'll wait until we're back with the crew and then ask somebody to reach out to Finana on my behalf.
Very well. The crew's back together?
Is there anything else Van-Vee wanted to do before going back to the ship?
I don't think so. I mean, anything I wanted to look up, I think I can look up on the ship about my family. So there's nothing that has to be done off the ship.
Okay. Yeah.
You're all back together again.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys make it back to the ship, and Louis is, I don't know what kind of like bath situation is, but Louis requires water and the ability to swim in it sometimes, right? So one of the like spare water tanks has been converted into some kind of maybe like swimming pool, hot tub situation that is he is currently hanging out in, and there's various fruits popping with him.
I'm picturing like a ginormous Poland Spring like gallon refill jug turned on its side and you cut the top off.
That sounds right. That sounds right to me.
That's funny.
Captain Van-Vee, I was hoping to ask for a little bit of help.
Well, shoot, what you need?
Go for it.
Well, I'm not familiar with any of the businesses that exist currently. Not really. And I was trying to figure out where I will be able to acquire some of the parts that I will need in the future. I tried to reach out to some of the local offices here. I know that there's a lot of spike drive construction here, but being on a 3-year waiting list to speak with them, that's quite long. I do know that there is an office for Finana shipyards, and I was hoping that maybe one of you is a little bit more business savvy and a little more up to date would be willing to reach out on my behalf to see if maybe we could get some spike drive components that we'll need in order to get that ship running.
Now, Van-Vee, your family is involved in construction.
Yes. Specifically mining, which I don't know if they need a tier 5 drive, but you never know.
I mean, they probably are the ones supplying the materials for those drives, so they might know somebody. If you were willing to go home and talk to someone about it.
I was going to bring it up in well, we're running out of time quickly, but I am planning on responding to the message you sent and bringing this up.
Okay.
I'm just not familiar with the current business landscape. Would either of you be willing to help me out?
The message I got from the Phenomena Fleet shipyards, right? Was there like a contact in there, like a representative that we might have to sort of be able to middleman this through?
Yeah, of course.
It's all about who you know.
I'd offer to make that connection. Yeah.
You've got local emissary Imai-Chi.
Right.
I'm going to put that in chat. So
Perfect.
She's
Yeah,
your.
I'll pull up a little.
She's your
card.
for this system. She's your contact in case you have any questions about your ship.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I mean,
So
if the captain says that he's willing to help, I'll hand him, or I'll send over digitally for him to have access to the list of parts and components that MINERVA believes will be necessary.
Like all of them to rebuild the entire ship, basically.
I mean, yeah, and figures that the captain will have the discretion to ask for what he thinks is reasonable or not to get a conversation started.
It's easily over 10 million.
I was going to say, I mean, price wise,
the whole ship. But
You see Quentin's eyebrows just like kind of creeping up a little bit as he reads through.
if you want to get it off the moon and limping home on its spike drive, that's probably 3 million-ish.
Okay. Yeah, reviewing the list, Quentin will kind of try to phrase the questions as mostly looking for contacts to acquire more advanced ship like components and materials, potentially to do some modifications to the current ship or something like that, but not trying to reveal too many of the cards, but making it clear that we need access to maybe some more advanced like spike drive components and things like that.
In the document that MINERVA would have sent you, would have heavily prioritized getting the spike drive operational. The rest of the ship is secondary to being able to get it in motion. But it is asking for components for a Spike 5 drive.
You're going to make the call to the Phenomena Fleet Systems then?
Yeah, unless there's any objection, I'll go ahead and do that.
Within 30 seconds, you get a woman who's adjusting her glasses. She's got extremely pale skin. Definitely looks like someone who spends a lot of time in space. Just like a general lack of musculature. High cheekbones, and her hair's been done up into like a tied up braid. And she says, Mr. Polk, how are you? We received the massive payment on your behalf from the local government. Congratulations on your windfall.
It's a big step in the right direction. I'm excited.
What can I do for you at this hour?
Yeah, I know it's a little bit late, but we just kind of had some pressing things. We're about to set off on another job here. We wanted to just kind of set up some context and see if you happen to have a line on some folks who could help us procure some more advanced components. We're looking to do some upgrades potentially here on our spike drive specifically. We're very interested in materials and components related to advanced spike drives.
Oh, I see. I can provide that information for you, but I should note that according to my records on your account, your ship is nearly fully tapped on power and space. Any upgrade is going to require you to remove parts of your ship in order to accommodate it.
Oh, absolutely. We just want to be flexible here. We're looking to see what our options are as things present themselves. And we've got some, a little bit of a workshop here that allows, I think we're going to be able to set up a home base and see what we can do to expand what we're capable of over time. This is not, a short-term goal. This is a long-term goal.
Why don't you send me any inventory that you're looking for, any price restrictions, quality restrictions, if there's any businesses you don't want to do business with, and I'll try to get it back to you as soon as possible.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. I'll send that over as soon as I can.
Okay.
And okay, perfect. I will. State of MINERVA. You're probably going to be pretty good at this, I think. But can you go through this in kind of cross-reference the components here and make sure that there's nothing in this list, or only put items in this list that are acquirable in reasonable means right now in, non-illegal, non-absurd salvage methodologies.
I can prioritize the components that I would like to acquire first, the ones that I believe would be necessary first. But as far as the rarity or difficulty in acquiring or illegal nature of any acquisition, I'm afraid I don't know the economic landscape as well as you do.
You have one pretty major issue right here, and that is that your ship is a frigate-sized craft, but the kind of drive you're looking for is cruiser-sized, which is going to send an immediate red flag.
Well, I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out is, do we need to look at specifically the drive, or do we need to look at like raw materials, chips and circuitry?
You have to pull the whole drive out and put a new one.
Right.
in.
Okay.
This is why you got to do it's for a friend.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess what the strategy would be that I would try to get us to do is to look for not so much the individual components at this point, but a contact who can acquire those types of components.
Absolutely. Okay.
I still love how this email person, it's like maybe 1-2 in the morning, New Year's Day. And she's
on the far side of the planet, so it's actually noon for her there.
Never mind. I was gonna say I'm just picturing like
I don't know if you know this, but space is big.
That's
There's
true.
a lot going on.
It's true, but I was picturing someone like, I don't know.
It's midnight everywhere right now.
Like someone's working a drive-through trying to close, and they just got an order for 10 million parts that they don't get any commission on. That's all I just pictured happening. This poor chick.
DoorDash.
Basically. No. Whenever the captain's looking into their channels, I'll be happy to see what I can dig up, specifically on the drive through my family channels. So I do have to pay a visit here while I'm mid-pile. I do have some family here, so I was going to see them anyways. They're kind of big in the mining area. I might as well see what they got up their sleeve. Just don't be surprised if they tell me no straight up. We didn't leave on the nicest of terms.
That is unfortunate. Family is important.
Well, that's what Netflix says, but
family is complicated.
So my question is, Van-Vee, do you want to undock from here and take the whole ship to your family's station, or do you want to catch a crash shuttle over there?
I'd probably ask the captain what he has for plans for the next 24 hours or so, if he would care if we took the ship and redocked, because I think in person to meet the crew would probably go better than going solo.
We can schedule for that. Where would this put us in relation to being able to visit these academics that I was interested in? And
their station is geostationarily or slightly less than geostationary above the planet. So it'll take you 48 hours to get to planetary orbit, and then from that station it'll take you 6 hours to get down to the planet. So you'll be in the neighborhood essentially.
Okay.
If you wanted to,
cool.
You could park there and you could grab a shuttle from his family station down to the planet.
That'll be what we plan on then. So we'll take the ship over there, and I will plan to take a shuttle down to my meeting.
All right. Let me hit this button real quick. Santiana Station Control to LAS Golden Goose. Request for undock received. You are Lima and Charlie. Flight plan approved. Arm control turned over to manual. Wait speed in the yard. See you again soon. Santiana Control out.
So Santiana people are awfully nice.
Your ship exits the wake zone around Santiana Station, and the end of your drive column, like 8 thruster engines all as you begin rocketing at a speed that would kill any human not protected by grav plating instantly towards the planet with a 48-hour timer. The timer.
Who has that BattleTech syndrome where you throw up every time?
TDS.
As the timer begins counting down, the screen fades to black, and the timer changes to say 47, 59, 50. And then the words next to it say, until the scream. And then it says, unknown planet. We see a man that looks Iraqi. He stumbles into like a plastered abode. The floor is covered with sand unusually. He looks around. All of the doors have there's no door in the doorway, and all of the windows have been blown out. He whistles, and a young boy, also with dark hair and deeply tanned skin, come in. The two of them go to the pantry and begin pulling things out, and he's just he's speaking in an unknown language, and he's just going through them, and he finds something and he hands it to the boy, who looks emaciated, dehydrated, malnutrition, and he begins sucking on like some sort of like juice container, and the kid looks like he gets better almost instantly. But as that happens, we hear like a and then like a dog barking, and the man like grabs his son and like slams himself up against the wall and puts a hand over the kid's mouth, and the kid is like trying to struggle and make noise, and he's like, the man is crying and tears go down into the dust of his face. And in the shadow of where the window should be, there's just curtains, and this sort of chitinous looking beast with two claws is shadowed through it. Something drips out of its mouth, and then we hear like weird and then like a rumble of spaceships passing overhead. Some sort of choir music is playing, and someone is singing non est mihi, non est mihi, non sum fortunatos. And the creature in the window goes, and then we just see like dozens of bullets impaling it A-10 gunship style, as just like you hear and like laser blasts everywhere throughout the town. The camera goes out the window, and we can see beautifully adorned, majestic white frigates and landing ships just like appearing all over the place out of holes in space, and drop pods are dropping robotic paladins down, all of them having a cross mounted in the center point of their frame. One of them begins speaking, and the bottom is like translating in Latin, and he says, "I'm here to help you. Don't resist." And he reaches a robotic arm through the window, pulls the man and his son out with one arm. And we see now that the robot is like 12 feet tall. Begins walking forward. The two of them are just like, ah, oh my God, ah. And he like hands it off to a much larger, like 35 suit tall piece of armor that's looking out over the whole town. And in the bottom it says, "You don't have to scare them, brother." He says, "Call MINERVA. The liberation has begun. We will fight back the enemy. And, well, it's her first day on the job. She should get to look like a hero." And we see a ship dropping out of the sky, this huge frigate that has a white horse painted on the front of it. And underneath the horse, it says MINERVA as it lands. And so the like 12-foot tall one just like walks on board and deposits the man and his child as gunship sounds continue in the background. And the man's just like looking around, and he's in very broken mandate says, thank you. The episode fades to black. But the timer in the lower left-hand corner does not, as it continues to count down to the scream. Let's talk about experience points.
I don't know, Minerva had an army of Atlas.
It's awesome.
I was really excited making this character.
Very fun.
You get one experience point for getting a notable increase in your reputation. Specifically, you wanted to open up a new avenue, which you did. I will give Minerva 1 point for experiencing something cultural with a shipmate. And I will give you 1 point for working towards your long-term goal, which is find the people who have the parts you're looking for and learn what you need to do to get them.
All right.
Van-Vee, I think unfortunately I can't hand you anything for either of yours.
I gotcha. No worries.
And I think Quentin, I also can't hand you anything for either of yours. But we had a short episode. We started late, and there was a lot going on at the beginning. Really sucks at the end of the first episode be like, okay, you only get a couple of experience. Does that mean you level up, Minerva? Are you level 2 now?
I did level.
Interesting. Now you get to do some really wicked stuff.
The AI starts taking over.
How many points does it take to level?
3 for the first
3
level.
to get the first level up, and then it goes up each level.
No, I think the second level is also 3.
Okay.
I think it's 3, 6, and then it starts to go up by an additional 3 every time. Yeah. So how are we feeling at the end here? We kind of got to wrap up because we're a little close to bouncing against time. But, you know, how are you guys feeling before we do outroductions?
Good. I'm excited.
That was a fun intro. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We have a lot of avenues already.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the first time I've ever said I want to stop off in like a tavern or a bar or a pub and just listen in, and it worked. So I'm excited.
You rolled great, and you got information that you personally are looking for, maybe not as a quest goal, but to find unusual hidden items. You know that there's a mysterious treasure map out there for the One Piece.
Nice.
Nice. Does anyone have any goals that they want to change?
I did. I thought of other short-term goals, and I can't remember them off the top of my head. But I will send you something, I think.
Okay. You don't have to change it. I mean, if you want to, you can.
No, yes.
So Minerva, for instance, could do something cultural again next time around.
I didn't like music last time. Pick a new one.
Well, there's more to music than culture, right? You're about to go to your home planet. It's full of all sorts of Britishy stuff.
I want to see live music now. Oh, my camera just got.
How about complicated family reunions? That's cultural.
Artwork or literature or statues or foodie culture. I mean, I feel like culture is so much more expansive than just I listened to one record of Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Beethoven, yeah, of course.
I think I want to update my short-term record.
Okay.
Short-term goal to get an opportunity to read some historical texts to bridge the gap.
Feels like a great opportunity to follow Quentin down on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of having one that allows co-oping with someone else, so that's easier for other people to also work towards their goals.
Okay.
And I feel like that's
similar to Slur's nice.
I mean, if we're all running off in different directions, it makes it harder for us all to meet those directions.
Definitely.
I also like how it sounds like our ship is now going to my family's base, but then you two are going to leave. Sounds like it would have been easier if the ship went to the planet and then I took a shuttle up.
Well, I mean, we all get to meet your family and then take the shuttle.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I apologize. What's about to happen then?
Maybe the two of us being there will help smooth things over a little bit.
Exactly. They have to play nice, right? There's witnesses.
Let's do introductions then. Start with you, Dunamis.
Hey everyone, I am Dunamis, Dunami5, depending on how you say it, spell it, type it. You can find me on AP's Discord. Been a part of a lot of the Battletech stuff. Other than that, this is my first time running this, being a part of this Stars Without Number system. So it's fun so far. Looking forward to more.
Let's go with Kain.
KainDamael. You can find me on AP's Discord. This is now my second show with AP. I'm really excited for this system that I had never heard about until AP told me about it. And I'm really looking forward to see what other stuff the other two have written up for their characters that we haven't discovered yet.
Ludemann.
That's me. I'm Ludemann. And yeah, I mean, this has been fantastic. You can obviously find me on Discord anytime you want. And I'm just really excited to be playing in a sci-fi universe as like at a tabletop RPG. It's just like, it feels like you don't get to do that often. And this is fantastic. I'm enjoying everything so far. So looking forward to more.
I'm just trying to live. So let me do my outro. I'm APGamingREAL. We're here. We should be back next week. Everybody's good.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking to check us on Twitch live, it's Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 to 10. I don't run a lot of sci-fi shows that are strictly science fiction. I know I run a lot of BattleTech, but I'm going to say something really controversial and say that's not really sci-fi. Because sci-fi requires, I think, the examination of consequences and also like delving into the issues that society either currently has or will have in the future. So I'm really trying to paid the promise of that here. And we're not there yet. But it's literally the first episodes. I guess we'll see. It should be noted that if one or more people can't make it, we will still have prequel episodes. I have something planned for each of our characters, and then something planned for if any two people are together to examine something that has happened in their past. Any closing notes?
I am very happy with both the rolls I made in the first session. It's very not usual for me as
very
as
not Dunamis rolls.
as Kain can attest to.
Decisive, yeah.
Shot a guy and heard a rumor at a bar.
Nailed it.
If only this was a system that used golf scoring.
Oh, jeez.
Then you'd be legend.
Okay. That's it. I'm gonna flip over to the ending screen and we'll just have to all say goodbye. But we'll be back.